Yamama AKUA strong kese pa eba human health education jumedie so said ye na da ye nim no se edu ya wada se ya adaje de eya na bi ni poso ewo enkran pumpuni mantel mu ha sanse obi bia da pentem no wa ba behwe women health education jumedie said ye Canada da no ya hyehye no kwan strong so a eba beboa ama emba ni obi bia da ehu hia se ebe fa ya pomuden ho ensem ato ya bem me abidi jumedie esom no midin ene na AKUA APPIAH NYAMEKYE afei so no jumedie no se opesa wo de wadwen kire efa so eba ende je WhatsApp line na fa so efa mayen eye 050 934 694 0557 966 381 0557 966 381 me twa me home ba jumedie no ye be hyase ya
Lucky TV, your number one TV station. Yeah, did you make one was so be a buyer to Dimitri? Now, what you made in the son in the event and say, and found in your auto and it took a crowd. Yeah, Babania be the day. Yeah, but also I don't make crack, a good young man, so I'm out of one, so I bet so good. So, for number night, good screen and you're not afraid. Baby, I walk on a memoir. Yeah, Kogana baby, and in Chondon in Chasso. Baby, I'll Cheviano. Freya, yeah, Baba, I have a body room. They are sure baby and your papa and walk. And that's a lucky TV. I also can say, why? Yeah, lucky.
And next 21st century, dear, ope our Jibia Papa, ope ko aquajuju and one Yep Guest House. Yep Guest House, our family room, SI, our executive room, our rooms are Hudwa, air condition, a bomuse, the beer, a kuyepa, our honomo. Yep Guest House, SI, our conference room, it to me a far any pabebro 500, our honomo. Yep Guest House, our serene environment, swimming pool, restaurant and bar, local foods and continental foods ninabi e honomo Yep Guest House e bie won tabakamo obi bia enko honomo Yep Guest House e ogomo ochirako wo fi winiba e be siampo kaso a contemporary free mono Yep Guest House ana awogoje bia soronko e fie enewo
Meda se pa se watwen me mama kwaje mabuafo enkratso aba ene enkomo a eda ye abemu a ye ba betwetwe no eye infertility eno eye poto kasem na so nya ye kasem de be ka se sadwe se wo ba oye sadwe anase bema sadwe wo ba ni wo ba hia hwi emfiri mu mba ya eno ene esisu dua e ka ne se nipa we wo sadwe na chese wontumi enwo na eye doctor pani a ya to nsa frɛ no mana be ka ye nsa e ma ni be kyerɛkyerɛ ye mu ehu enema ye etumi e ma se sadwe semi e beto ye so nidin ene Dr. Claribel we gynecologist bibini broni wano no kasa no wopoto enunti no wopoto a na ni broni otobrosie ni keche ba kope ya wonsi ni fom ya nidin ene mame asibi obekyekyere mu kama na menso so matna dwumedie ni mu ebisebise mu ensem ebe fom mama kwa aba
yeah that's it ba
Pacho mapomwe. How are you faring?
Oh, we are fine.
We thank God. Today we have on our tables infertility. The topic is infertility, and we would like to know. We've seen that in Ghana, in most homes, infertility is a very big problem, and people would like to know the solution, yet they are not getting it. So we would like to know, what is infertility?
The first thing I want to say is this woman, the title is Woman Health Education, but the infertility is be involved. Woman can be involved, man can be involved, and two of them can be involved. And to say today we want to start to talking about the infertility in the male in man. We go to divide this topic in various sections because it's too broad. I want everybody has to say what is infertility. Infertility is the disease that affects the reproduction system from the man and woman. When the couple is trying to get pregnant for 1 year, you know, without unprotected sex, and the lady between 35 years or older in 6 months, he don't get it pregnant, with consideration this person has infertility. Is another thing is when we have the woman, they can get pregnant. She's unable to get pregnant, but he cannot. The pregnant cannot keep it. The pregnant cannot stay. He get many abortion. This is consideration infertility too.
Onsim bisano, and say any awomu how. Na doctor ni church mu. Oche say ye titu ye kan wasem woman health education. And so woman health education mum ayo say mbadi na daso na emom no mba ene mema ene kebom ena wo eno nti ende opeso dikan ekafa mema ho na question na ba na nansem bisa na ba say eden ne mba anase awom ohawo no ena doctor echere say yaka awom hawa na ye kire oba ne bema omo ohaw da say ba no wo ohaw na wodiem anase bema wo ohaw ewo ni bema mu eno no ene de awom ehaw eba enti eno no so ye hwa na ye kire say oba ne bema ehyiemu ewo ndemu beye afi anase busumi nsia mo hwe kwan sanka nyinsen bi ebeba nanso omo ye mo ho bia na nyinsen no so ebimba ne titru ne se oba bia wedi beye busumi na afi ediasa enum ede kono na obo ne ho bode so benya awo anaso benya yefunu nanso yefunu ebu nimba obi nso etumi nya yefunu na emom no entumi enjina eba na asay eba na asay sa nkofo yetumi kase omo wa awo mu hawo anase surgery se na wosikai
madam wase enti no we sa no na hwe se mukasa na mode no awo Doctor, when you were talking about pregnancy. So I would like to know what really is pregnancy.
You see, pregnancies for his day, where it has different states for where the woman has this condition. First, the body he need to release one egg. This egg is becoming for one of the ovary. This is what we call ovulation. Then after that, this egg is need to transfer to the fallopian tube. It go to some weight. They move to some way to the womb. But before he reach to the womb, you see, the sperma it need to join in the weight. That eggs to produce the fertilization. You see. Then after that, this eggs is go back to the uterus. For a ciliary movement, the fallopian tube have to go to do the implantation inside the womb. So for you to be pregnant, you need to have ovulation, you need to have fertilization, you need to have implantation, and the sperma of the man, he need to have very good quality, because if among us the sperma is not enough, pregnancy cannot take away. If the motility is not enough, the sperma cannot target the spermatozoid. If the morphology is not good, it can be malformation in the formation of the pregnancy.
Okay.
And you know, obisa say you can't say nyinsen eno ne den aha nti doctor ni church man say nyinsen you can't say e nyama ahodo bi a ekoso ewo oba ne yefunu mu ansa na ya befre no nyinsen edi kan no ewo se oba etuminya nkosua nkosua ewo ne yefunu mu ewo bibia ye fe no ovary no mu nti sa nkosua na oto no ene na ye fe no ovulation mra ewo se nkosua no edi wo ovary no mu sa mre no so after nkosua no ne mra so no ewo se efa bibia ye fe no fallopian tube eno no ye droben bia eda ovary no ene awode no nti nkosua no ebefa fallopian tube no mu na abeda awode no ansa na ebefa mu aba no na wo se be ma ho nsuo ahoɔden ewo mu etumi hia nkosua no na hia nkosua na apaye nkosua no eno no ena ye fa fertilization no nti eno no na abeda ne mogatoa nti sa mogatoa no ena ebefa droben na ye fa fallopian tube no abeda awode no mu ebeda ho a eno na ye fa ne se oba afa ye fu anase wenya nyense
that's papa doc is infertility a common problem?
Yes.
Is that a common problem?
Yes, infertility is a common problem. The common problem we affect, for example, in the United States, it has approximately 1 million of pregnant women between the age of 15 to 45 years with this infertility problem. The same situation, some of them cannot keep in the pregnant or stay with the pregnant. In Africa, 10% of the 10.1% of the couple has infertility. You know, it has some countries in Africa can reach to 32% of the infertility.
And to obisa say, yeka awomo hawa aso adia dodo na eta enya sa ohaw na doctor say ane ye hwe abrochi memo US memo a kire say omo ema dodo a omo di beye efie dunum edikosi eduanan num no ye fa omo opepe nsia ene aha baako etumi ena enya awomo ahaw ye fa yen Ghana memo nso a yayi emaasi ho a omumu oha mu chichemu du ena ya enya awomu oha na yehwe Africa ememu binom nso a omumu beye oha mu chichemu aduasamienu ena ya etuminya awomu oha aha ena eno nso no yefa emanu ebi etumi enya emanu bi etumi enyinsen na nso nyinsen no entumi njina nti ya de ekoso pa na je say infertility ne de wo ho ye ka say oba na say bema wontumi nwa ya de wo ho no pa ekoso wo wiase san say ye wo Ghana o nso the US na ye infanto ho na say ekoso wo wiase papa enya say Ghana nko ana say South Africa nko bebia ewo Doctor, we would like to know, most of the times, the men do blame the women for being infertile. Yeah. Is infertility a woman problem? Is it only women's problem?
No. Infertility is a woman problem and is the man problem. You see, 1/3 of the cause of infertility is affect the woman, and 1/3 of the cause of the infertility affect the man. The rest of percent is affect man and woman. It has some new of the causes why the infertility occurs. But unfortunately, in Africa, I don't want to say Africa is like that. I have this experience. Maybe I don't know his for religion, costume, some culture. But usually when the couple it has infertility, all the time the blame is coming over woman. The woman. This is the reason for why I start today for male infertility. And just the people knowledge, I get the knowledge of all the cause of the infertility that man has. And so we start to blame the woman.
Okay.
Say, aso yeka awomo hawa eye emma hawo nkwa ahawa na se Dr. Sida Bida na emom no emma ne mmema etumi nya sa ohaw no eto de bi a efafi etumi fi emba eto de bi nso a etumi fi bema no ena eto de bi nso a etumi fi omomienu ne nyina aha na emom ne yehwe ye bibi memu a eya na yeta de sobo no ebo emma no aha dodo na emom doctor chese efa no etimi fi afafa ne nyina
ebi nso ampo behwe na nkumafo ensofo no wo ba na hyedem kra yetumi bebo pun yi ni si abonten sase enkanka ne sa aso ne hu se oba no ne ni kunu hyedem no wa ba be na aso krafo ene na wo bopun ni mu sa wo mpie ne wo hye ho no hwe mfi mu ma na kwakoye ni ngwa assessment sa
ntino sena ochire no eye emma ene mmemma nyina eto bi nso a oha no mpo etumi fi beebi a yenhu ni Claribel aha sena na ye ma me chire no se onim se eye religion ana se bibi aha ntino sena sobo no ye de ebo eno ntititu ntina nde oye se obehya ase efi mmemma hawo
That's a So, doctor, what causes infertility in male?
Okay. It has it's very complex because for man is pregnant a woman, it has to some process for where the man he needs to pass first. It's supposed the man has a very healthy and good reproductive system from the puberty. Okay, I mean, one of the testicles is being function correctly, no? The sperma he need to have the very good quality. You see, because it's a sperma he don't have very good quality. Pregnant is not good. He need to have to the very good. The sperma he need to have a very good quality. So they have many causes.
It has to be healthy.
Yeah, when I say he has a very good quality, in the quality he has the health. He need to have a very good balance, hormonal balance, to keep in the production of the sperma. You see, the semen he need to go to meet with the spermat. You see, they need to join the sperma. He need to be the enough quantity for the pregnancy is taking place. So they have many causes of infertility in man. I want to start for medical cause, you know. It has a lot of medical cause. If it's the cause of that, we can mention the varicocele. Varicocele is the inflammation, or say, is the swelling of the vein is draining the testicle. Okay. We have some health condition can produce this problem with the man too, like the diabetes. You see, diabetic people, it has enough problem with the fertility. Do you understand? We have the diabetes. We have infections. The infection disease, you see, he can do the inflammation of the testicle, inflammation of the prostate, or inflammation of the urethra. You see, if you have inflammation of the testicle, it can inflammation the epididymis, it can cause epididymitis. The inflammation of the testicle can cause orchitis. And what is about all these two? He had the responsibility to transfer the sperma through the urethra. If they get to block, you see, the sperma is produced. It has normal production, but this sperma cannot come out. But we have the medium for what we can reduce this thing. It has some medication too, like.
Okay. You were talking about infections. Can we say STDs?
An infection, the STDs like gonorrhea and HIV can cause permanently infertility for obstruction of all the vessel. He need to work in the transfer of the sperm. I think you need to, because this topic is so long. I think we need, no, what I say, she need to do the interpretation little by little.
Yeah. Mami asibi. Ena na doc work ano.
Nti se na obisa no. Eden na ede eba.
Edeba. Eden ma bema.
Enya awo. Ena doctor no say abofra mpo ya wo no ne mbofra bremu na onyi no bema enyi a na ninyi mu no ewo se ne bema yemu no yehu no ne bobre ene kwan a ofa so nyi edikan no mpo ne wo se ne hwa no mu no anye kra na baako ewo se etumi ye adwuma wie ewo se etumi nya ehunsuo dodo a ehia a ewo se ewo ne hwa no mu ena ne nkwaboa no nso no ewo se otumi nya ne dodo ene ne mpomudin mu nkwaboa no ewo se omunya apomudin a ebetumi ayeba aha nti eno no ena doctor na ochire no ena ochire se nyare ahodo bi nso etumi de ohaw ede eba aha nti no se ohaw bi eba nkwaboa no mu a etumi ebre ne mema yemu ase nti esa na bema no awo etumi eyedin bi te say infection se na osi kan varicose I no etumi ede ohaw bebre eba se bema no enya infection ewo ne ne njuso twa ne mu a eno so etumi ekokosi kwan a ewo se ehunsuo no bebi ewo se ekogu no entumi enya kwan embese nko ebi te say diabetes se na doctor kan no sa nyare onyina etumi de ohaw ede ba bema no ne mmema yemu ema ne hunsuo no entumi enye adwuma se ne wo se eye.
Okay. Doc, can cancer be a cause?
The tumor is another cause of infertility. It can be cancer, it can be any kind of tumor. I mean, sometimes they go to have the surgery or some glandular like the pituitary gland. This is a glandular is the responsibility at the hypothalamus to segregation the hormone. If this hormone is if this area is affected, it can affect it. It has chemotherapy. The chemotherapy we use in the cancer it can affect. Radiotherapy can affect to the fertility man. We have more things. We have the the radiation is another matter. We have to as another well in the tumor district radiation chemotherapy and
say a tumor na ochre ahono bi a etumi ehono wo bema ne ayase anase ne bema mu anase ne hwa mu enti eno no nso no etode bi a etumi esi awo ho kwan ema bema ebi te say cancer ho eduro anase ho kwan ayefa so yesa cancer yare te say the chemotherapy no na ne ekeka hono se etumi esi kwan de ema bema ema awomu eyedin ebi te say was call true radiation na ka radiation na ye ohwa anase ohwa efri ejina ejanum anase ne ewoso okomu no eya na ohwa efimu ba no etumi eko bema no ho etumi ekokum mwawa no mwawa ne eni se enya ohyew bebre nto ohyew no kuma ma obema no hunsuo no ejine nti eyesa na aya na de ohaw bebre enso na ohun hwe ensuo no be wo ho etimi wo ho all right but na ahoden bia eni
nti no wo ka se ensuo na edika fi bema no ne bema ni mu ba ansa na bema ni ho esane no e wo se nkwamo na ewo mu eye den e wo se obu ya den se de be ya se sperm na nkasa etumi be fra e de awo na nkasa na be ba
another cause of infertility we have the trastornos in the ejaculation. We're talking about the retrograde ejaculation. It has something I want to mention is not the design of the testicle. See, it's very important because the design of the testicle is occur during the fetal time in the mother womb, you know. But sometimes some of the baby can deliver, and this is the reason for why all the time, okay, we doctor to review this in the hospital. But no matter the doctor reviewing the hospital, the parent he need to be concerned about that, because sometimes they are not there, but then in some days the testicle it can descend, and they have medication for that too. But this thing is one another cause of infertility. You see the adult, the testicle is never descend, the scrotum is empty. It can be cause of the infertility. We have injury of the spinal cord is another cause. If your production of the sperma is not normal, it's another cause. You need to have the good account of the sperma. The World Health Organization gives that like the borderline 20 million up about the count of the sperma. About the motility, he need to be 15% or more than that. And the morphology between 2 to 4% of both. This thing no matter, because it has some of the sexual reproductive medicine if we can use to helping all the people. But when we reach to that time, we're talking about that aspect. Because it has another factors, like is the environmental factor. So the environmental factor, you go to find the chemical products like herbicide, pesticide, you know, fertilizant. It can affect the production of the sperma. The heavy metal, like the people is working in the mine, in the mine. No, this is in the mining company. In the mining company, it can affect too much. Another another risk is the consumption. Is the high still, but the consumption of alcohol, take drug like cocaine, marijuana. The people who like to do this anabolic exercise, is take too much anabolic steroid. This is can affect too. The anabolic steroid. When the heating of the testicle can affect. These people who like to go to enjoy in the sauna, is never. This is can affect the fertility too at a better heat.
And Sena near Ochino, and one say abofra na woman and no crown. Doctors no a no modican eshe. Na omo sha omo na APPIAH na se omo anko ho a oba time bia no wa wo ba no na odi na akofie no e wo se wo hwe se ne showa no at least emu baako emu ni duro se na tie ebi wo ho na ya na hwe nim nti ho se mu ya hadodo a na ntempara e wo se wo hwehwe doctor echira kwan ne mu duro no echire ne hunsuo no ne dodo ene nkwamwa no ndodo ochira na US memu omachire nkwabwa dodo a ewo se utumi enya ene ne se opepi mienu eni echire eno no na ewo se be matumi nya woni hunsuo mu na yetumi aka se ebetumi ato tuo ama aba efimu aba na osanso kire se wechidompe ho ka eno nso etumi de ohawo ede ebrel ntino eno enana ochire se ohaw binum nsine se wo ekọ omamu ema ndade so no omamu ma ndade so no omunso
mind sise
anasa omamu ma ndade so try some be emuye dru no eno no etimi de ohaw bebre ebrel mu ena yen lifestyle kwan ya yefa so yesitina oka about omamu no nsa enyansa kekensa den ne onum nsa den bebre etimi de yare ebra sa yare no so etimi nemu ema wonya ohaw ewo obema nti etimi de awom ohaw edebra
ekasa omo a omo sanso no mu wi omo no mo jot
na
haw ema omo mo twi ni cocaine na etimi edeba. So doc, problems with sexual intercourse, can it also be a cause?
Yeah, they have problem with the sexual intercourse. Intercourse, no, it not have the good erection. You know, the good erection. It can have painful sexual intercourse. Do you understand? This is can cause problem too. Producto the problematic in the sexual intercourse you go to have problem, psychological problem between the couples, you know. Entonces this thing is affect. What I advise is I advise to the woman, if he has in this situation, the man has any sexual intercourse problem, you need to help your husband. Because you want to satisfy with the sex and the man has this problem. If you don't help him, the situation is becoming worse. When you help, they can come out for that situation. But can you imagine you have this situation and you are a woman start to over you? No, you need to help him. When you help him, the man can come out for that situation. And another cause of this problem with the sexual intercourse, okay, this is more medical matter, is what we call it postpardia. You know, and in postpardia, normally the meato or the urethra is here. If you have sex, when you release the sex, the sperm can here. But what is happening in this aspect, in postpardia, the meato is down. And just when you release the sperm, it's coming down. It's don't go directly.
And can a premature ejaculation to be a problem?
Premature ejaculation is the problem. Premature ejaculation is product of all these things. The premature ejaculation with the sexual dysfunction, with the erection,
painful intercourse.
Oh,
can be.
And now, Dr. H. Or how etumi edeba ewo ndemu nti eno na doctor ne o kire ne se ye ba no ndemu a bema no eto de bia aya na oyawo se ndemu oyawo no eto de bi nso na bema no na adwen na ebia ohaw bi ewo awarie mu anase asetene mu a eto de bia etumi de ohaw ebrebe ma no nti na adwen NCP na adwen NC ya eba no ndem nso a etumi de ohaw eba esa na ne ho nsuo no na ne ho sane no entumi emba yie na nti
be ma sei na ebra so se okokwan so wadware abo powder be bia ye kama na wo ba no ho no ba ni be bisan se kofi papa on hwe nkora ni school fees no etumi ma ne
wa jeans bi
pampi won ra wo se da be me be wura de be wie kra na ne ho adwo
anase ntokwa bi esi eno nti na osi o
wonye da
be ma de on se be ma de ne ho asisi ne ho so na wa ye se o nde de wo se me ye we no na wo si ne kwan a esa wo na adwen mu se nti na esa na eba kra na onfa enije so ni ma ahosane no ntumi emba yie nti eno so na ya na ede ohaw bebre eba nti oba no eha ne bebre a ya na eha adwen
timite se na doctor can be premature ejaculation
na oka premature ejaculation no eno ne nyina eka ho se ahosane no ansa na ne ho be sane no na we ne ho nsuo no abadeda nti eno so no
enkrofo ta ka se under 1 minute for no
na wo kan
oba ne wo ebi akwa onye hu oba na wo dampa ne so se ne address bi a wa hye ne to apepe ho ana chese aba
na oka bibi so
premature ejaculation is produced because it don't have very good erection with the penis. The premature ejaculation is called that way. The desire of the sex for the man is go down. The libido is go down. This is
kind of premature so ho asane wompo ho nsane ona yo na aba no ente no na doctor echere se enije ni ho a ema ne ahombaye no eba fom nti no ema ontumi enye yi no ka bibi se espadia eno so no otere bia o se bema no obema no anu no wo se ewo ne tin nanso ebidie eya na abepie aseye nti nsuo ne ba no ewo se nsuo no ekotin na timi ko roba na ase ne ko hyan kwasua no obon sa afase haisa afase na etere bia timi efa no sa ekopie wodunso twa no nti eno no entimi nko bebia ewo se eko na afa nchen
tini nanso so ka ho bi doc what about prior surgery
Oh, yeah. When you have pre-op surgery, let's start in order for the bladder, from the prostate, and from the ureter. It can affect the fertility. Sometimes you have the major surgery, the man. Major surgery, you can affect. Another surgery can affect, you see, the hernia. The hernia in man is very, this is something we have very careful when you go to operation the hernia, because when you go to release this thing, you need to be careful you don't affect the spermatic cords, because if you ligation or damage the spermatic cords, the man have it in infertility. It's very important.
Na doctor, can say, to the beer na yare bi aba bema shuamuno. Say doctors share. Na was say ye cha, I was say ye share, sena bear, or more cha, uncle cha, babya, bema hunsuno, a begu, because say, Anyana sa, say, kind of echo can hopeno, nature say, was say, bibia, and enono, at the how be brave ever.
Sir, I don't know to me the how be brave, but I no plan bibi, sanso eka say, no. So now Obubo Bibi say, Doc, what of radiation or X-ray?
You see, radiation or X-rays is can affect. You see, it can affect the production of the sperm. He produce a lot of sperm, you know, and you know this is can affect when radiation is so much like that. It can affect chromosome too. You know, this is the reason when you see the X-ray man, they have the dosimetry because has some amount of the radiation your body can receive. I mean, it's not only affect the fertility. You can get cancer. You can get many of the things with the radiation on your body. It's too much. Look, I go to put typical example about radiation, the bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Until today, the bomb of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, many years ago, it has effect. It produced mutation of the chromosome. Until today, many family there has children with the defects for that time. It has another thing is when you have any alteration of the chromosome can give to you that problem too. I want to put the sample. It has one syndrome. It's the syndrome of the Klinefelter. The syndrome of the Klinefelter, usually the man has eggs white, you know. But when you have the Klinefelter syndrome, you have 2 eggs and 1 white. It has another disease like cystic fibrosis, and he has another syndrome. It can cause alteration of the chromosome. It can get problem on the.
Can those who work with the computer, they work on computer for long day?
What is happening? You see, work for the computer for a long time, for me, it has 2 implications. You don't think, you know, when you work with the computer, you receive irradiation in the small quantity, but you receive irradiation. When you sit down for a long time, the people who sit down for a long time, like driver, the dog will use the man, the testicle is hitting, receive heat there, and this heat is can affect the fertility too. Sometimes no the weight down, but sometimes dress is can affect you because you have the testicle.
Tight dresses.
Yeah.
Near doctor extra and say you can't radiation na send na channel or show until when ya bina I was say oh go through X-ray and I say Bibia edi high be at all so na a high no show neba no it me echo ase echo bre unkwamwano ase nti ebra nkwamwano ase sana ema awo ho eyedin ena na osan kire se obisa se bema anase obitina laptop echi computer echi echa se on se computer no so generate radiation the heat ɔhyew bi eba nti saa ɔhyew no eba na dodoɔ na eba na ɛma wo obema ona wo ho nsuo no ɛho ahoɔden no ɛte eba fam eba na sanso a obi tumi na otumi wo a ɛtore bia na abofra no ɛtore bia betumi ato tuo alright obetumi awo nanso na abofra no ɛwɔ haw ɛna ɔka abato hyew no nso no na ɔka fa ɔmo tena se ɛkyɛ ɔnse bɛma ɛwɔ hɔ no ɛwɔ sɛ wo hwewa no mo no mframa ɛfemu abrebia nti otena se kyɛ no na ɔhyew egina wase nti saa ɔhyew no so ɛyɛ na ɛmboa ɛna ɔmo hyɛ ntaadeɛ pampi obi oho wahye boxer ono a wasan ahye panty ono a afi wahye jeans anane trousers san eguso na ohyew nkoa na ewo na ase eyesa na eya na ede how bebre eba
won say emre bi radiation no won say emre bi minim say obeka ya people bi ba ya na wo mo kire say even mobile phones say you use your how person bi papa unya sa paper ni bi fa echia
everything all these things can give radiation
and
more quantity and other is small and you see these people is be 24 hours and the radiation is not good you see sometimes you see the pregnant woman in the hospital with the computer saying no because they receive radiation. This can affect the pregnant.
And the fetus. Omoka say, "Odi phone si charge and so a." And they say, "Osum." Osha ye chere phone no monsa mema. And they say, "Otade phone no ehye o front packet ni mo." Even with chikra na ya na emboa. And na and they say phone no so totally wason can we
obi o to me e kwa 3 hours 4 hours no just
so na aya hye
no so na ni na echi so wo koda no wo the phone asan hye ni so ni ase se no mu body rock ka se sa anyama no say no radiation ni nti enyama ni pedua no etumi ha ni pedua ne pantinka ena mete se titiri nsu otompo anka phone ni kwan se ben ni pedua no sanse o se bibi wo wie mo etumi be siso a ebe plasma ebe kan
etumi eka on se light in crack to me buffer ewra tv mo edu na say no
this is radiation so whatever is called radiation tv phone is affect.
So how is male infertility? How can it be prevented?
Okay, male infertility is can prevent it. Don't drink alcohol. Don't smoke tobacco. Don't take drug like cocaine, marijuana. Don't do vasectomy. Don't do vasectomy because sometimes what is happening. I don't say the vasectomy is back, but man can think very well when they go to do vasectomy because sometimes they get 2 children, they are young, he want to sacrifice for the wife, but the problem is vasectomy is irreversible. And just sometimes it's irreversible, you can get a sperma from the testicle, but sometimes when he pass a long time, the testicles can atrophy if you cannot get that. You need to see what kind of the medication you drink because it has some medication can affect that. You need to evitation. You need to check about your lifestyle. Your lifestyle for this thing because you see this young guy he like to have the bodybuilding and they think too much anabolic steroid. This thing can affect. They can affect. You see where you are, how you try to avoid the hot place like the sauna and all these things. This is a way you can prevent. Prevent when you have to have sex. Prevent to use condom because sexual transmission disease can cause a very big problem in the male infertility. You get sexual transmission disease, the ductus for where the sperm he need to transfer to go out for the urethra, he get blocked. And when this is blocked, the sperm cannot release. You release the sperm, but it's water, like semen, but no sperm inside that. So you need to to take to prevent all this thing.
Mami asibi wo betwem na meba ansa na no wo pesa wutumi eba dwumedie ni esubia ye numbers na etwagu e wo screen na se no wo betumi abobo na wafre na wo so aba dwumedie ni subi na wasembise biada no wo de ato edwa dok wa ha wo beyi ano e de ama ofefefe medam wase mami asibi enkona
aha obisa ese ekwan be so na ebetimi afa esi mmema awo mu ehaw ekwan aha ntina doctor echirechire mu no o say ensanum bebrebe nsaden a yenom no ankebe ya yentwa so
obi okotena eyidwabo ase a ende ensenti no koye ye mani tu enso no se 10 na why na adwen se wo benom no wonya anom ya wonfi hoye
obi etumi di create crisis n'enim nsa create obema obakofo obenum ne nyina amanasa eno so etumi di yarwa ahodo eba na eno so no etumi ekwa siwawo eho kwan ana na ochire nso se oma ye smoke no eno so ewo se yetumi ebre na ase aha ena otanso kire se oka vasectomy eno ne se bema waye wadwen se media mimpese mewo biom nti yentwa mawo ho kwan eno no no chese manye asense etele bia yetumi ya etumi ekokosi wo ntohwe no eba na ewom no nsuo na wose gina na etumi si kwan be bedu baby no eno no ye ya ontumi nsan kwa echi se afi mi pese me wo nti yensan enye ho bibi mame hwe ni wa ebetumi
se wo pese wo be wo de fa kondom
nti no oyiye eno na eno ne de yentumi ensane enkwa echi oya na chese afi bo nya de a obewo biom nti eno de eni se oye ena oka condom asem no se wonim se wo mpese obewo a ende fa condom ye ende abribia no opese wo a wo ho kwan se obetumi asan awo
medofo Memo about women health education Jumedie so.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Hello. It was here.
I welcome you to the Women Health Education Program. Your name and where you are speaking from.
My name is Fatima and I'm coming from Volta region, Pando.
We are listening. We are listening.
Okay, please, my question is that implant causes infertility.
That's influx.
That it causes infertility.
Influx. Implant.
Yes. Implant. Family planning. Implant.
Okay. Does it cause infertility?
Yes.
Okay. Doc is here. Doc is here. Doc.
Family planning is not cause infertility. One day we bring this topic here to discuss. He have family planning. It has different methods. It have medication method like implants. Implant is something you put inside to your skin, under your skin, and the release some quantity of hormone. It can helping you regulate the different. He has some hormonal treatment like the Provera, the Proprovera, but the family planning, it don't cause infertility. This is the reason when you come to do the family planning, the provider is explaining to you how long you want to do the method. What is his? You need to reactivate the method at this time. But what is happening when you stay prolonged time with any of this medication for the control of the control of the natality? Control not regulated because control is in China. We don't control natality in Ghana. What they do? All this thing, the mechanism is reduce the produce of the hormone. When reduce the produce of the hormone, you see, the endometrium is atrophied. The uterus is not produce enough hormone. It don't have ovulation, but immediately you stop that treatment. Everything is reversible. Irreversible here is irrecoverable. Depend 2 or the years you use that, because sometimes people can be with this treatment 3 years, 5 years. Me, for example, I advise somebody can have this. If you have the planning, family planning, it has some time you need to rest. But have some people, he take the pill when he go to you say, no, I take pill for 5 years. No, it's supposed when you take pill, I say every year you rest. You say, I guess 1 year, then me rest 2-3 months, then you start again. Because you know you go to cause atrophy of the ovarian, atrophy of the uterus, atrophy of the endometrium. When you get pregnant, he give the long period. But they don't cause infertility.
So the continuous intake of the that's you. That's
the implant. No, listen.
The implants.
No, it don't cause anything.
Family planning.
Yeah, the family planning implant.
That's the word.
Yeah, but the family implant don't cause any infertility. This is the reason for what family plan implant in family planning has here. You can take for 1 year. You can take for 2 years. You can take for 3 years. You can take for 5 years. You explain to the health provider for how many years you want to stay in standby. You don't want to. You say 1 year, he gives to you the implant for 1 year. If you take 2, they give the implant for. Do you want 5? He gives the implant for 5 years. You need to tell to the health provider how long you want to keep in the family planning.
Okay. Hello, Medofo. Hello, Medofo. Me wakwa baba Lucky TV, Women Health Education. You made it so.
Bajo, me di Francis, me kasa fitema.
Yetio.
Bajo, mo jiba no ya ni je hombat. Ya try ya gbenga ka. Wa ya try it me jina line no so che. Nka bia wo bitimi di number no bia mo di to bia whole run na bia obi fra we bit man so amanda the call is on whole run bia no so ya beboa. Ya jina line no so che sa fa da wo de high.
Yo ya se.
Program no Dr. Claribel mi pa minimum. Wa ye jima o Provita Hospital. Mi o ka nyina no o kana kwa we Dr. Penipa minimum pa na jima so enipa ndi. Na meka se wa Lucky TV de mo so na abeboa na makima na ko ndi. Na me sha no na.
E da se o frey ye. Hello Medofo, udi ni baby o ka se frey.
Me ka to Western North.
Western North, mpacho udi the same.
That's me Sunday.
Mpacho ma wasen bisane nko.
Mpacho, me so say, so I said yeah, on the dema.
Me pacho wo, ka we die ni die mu a, ma wonde so kakra ma me.
Me pacho me say. What's your name?
Me pacho I meet you.
Sir. On the dema that you know. If you find by no so Arabiana.
Doctor Waha, wo be yi ano e de ama o. Why? Hello. Medofo di ni baby aka say free. Doc.
The answer was a lady.
Hello. Me patrol lower volume ne mame. Doc, in case someone has sex and then the sperm comes out of the woman's vagina.
You see, this is something I explain all the time to my patients because this is common question everybody has.
So is it a problem?
Listen, let me explain to you. I tell them the sperm when the man is released in the vagina is a big quantity and one volume. Some of them pass and some of them is coming out. This is not like the vaccine. When you have water, you put them, it's go there like that. No, and just say because the volume is big, the quantity he need to pass the pass is coming out the rest. But this is not the cause of any problem. That is normal.
That is normal. It's never a cause.
It's not a cause.
Obi di kan ebisai say oye family planning na etimi de how ebrand wa room na doctor ano say dabi eno entimi nkofa how emba eno ntina okoye family planning na doctors ebisao say embedded was saying and our pese edi wo ho ebi o ho yetumi ya up to be mfie num aha otumi ya no afi baako otumi ya no afi mienu etumi ya kwesi mfie num na wo ye no e wo say anka afi bia no wojai kakra na woji wa home na wo saye na wo ye na ebro so a echa bro so a eno na etumi de ohaw e de ba wa wodie num ema se hormones I was a wunya no entumi nya e na wontumi ntunkosia so a e wa hoden a ebetumi ama wenya eba efimo na emom no sa ohaw ne ba se ujai implants na wuyi pe ohaw ne to etwa ntu utumi enya nyense
so ka se wuje wa homia so why na ebia mfienu na pesa oje wa homia emre dodo sen na odebeje wa homia san
na o che se afi ba ko bia no anka wo jai be ya busum be miensa na waje wa home na wasan so atia so
second question now
second question no bisa se oba ne be ma ehie mu no na ebia nsuo no assign na cha ba no eno etumi de awo mu ha ba anase na doctor HS eno de saa na wo se eye anti no se nsuo ne ba eba na eba no dodo nti na nkwamo ano e wo se eye dodo nti ne dodo na eba no ebi ekom ena ebi nso epie nti no de enya ohaw
doc some guys takes drinks, less alcoholic drinks, that makes them sex for a longer time. What about that? You said taking in alcohol is not good. It causes infertility. But some guys do take it so that they can sex for long. What about that one?
Yeah, you see, this is a problem. They can take alcohol for long. Sometimes they mix the alcohol with something. It's no... only alcohol because has something in the environment.
Mixture.
The mixture is put all manner of things, alcohol, drunk, and this. And just this thing, this is get to you excitation. It maybe you can stay this if you have self for problem, but this is going to affect to you. It has one moment, and this thing is going to give to you the impotence. Do you understand? And just when he gets impotence, you don't go to have the result. All this stimulation, energy, and this, because they want to be euphoric. But at the end, all this euphoric medication, all this euphoric thinking, he will come into the trust with your sexual reproduction matter. I advise them to stop all this thing because it's no good. No good at all.
At all. Mami asili.
Na wo bisa se emema na enum nsa na omone ema da no. Obi o ye wonsa na hodo bebre. Aye se bema obema mo ayedin. Ebema wakọ mpaso ache. Eno na doctor eche se eya na enya nsa no.
Mami asili pacho so bodwem kakra mami right na me frefrefui. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Afternoon, middle for Woody, any baby, I can say free. Mammy Mary, I will free Pando, Mr. Wama, one uncle. And Sabuano, Mojana, a banana. Patroko akuma tu yem why doctor wa ha wo be yi anu ama why? Hello.
Hello.
Me don't for me more about women health. Jumedi so wouldn't any baby I can say free.
No, that's not free of what you're telling us.
Mammy Lizzie Champacho man uncle.
You know the person of this doctor saying, neglect me. I am not a shishi.
What then?
Menufu. At any time, we are not a shishi. No need. I really in woman.
I should just say,
I give you answer now. And I'm sorry,
I know and I may say, and no son, I am a woo and sa, and I say, woo, sakra, not I should share.
I'm in moments after
Yo, doc waha. Wobe you nsem bisana no e de ama why?
But I am going to you and tell
Me pa show interpreter waha obetwe mo twi ama wati ase why? So doc, she says she feels pain in her breasts. She feels pain in her breast. Meanwhile, she isn't menstruating. So is it a problem? She wants to know what the problem really is.
She need to go to the doctor to review to see how is the cause of the pain. He need to have with the age too. Because sometimes you cannot menstruating when you get to this time, menopause, because you see sometimes you get some irritation in your breath and you feel pain.
Okay.
More times, sometimes in the time you suppose you have your menstruation. Maybe you are not menstruation, but you have this feeling.
Pain, yeah.
But we need to check because it's not normal to your pain, your breath is pain like that. I advise them go to the doctor, checking is the pregnant, is the breath is normal. She can check the cell out to examine of the mama to see if she feel any lump or any growth. But let her to go to.
And the first caller said that she's been feeling heat in her womb. What really is the problem?
This is sometimes the people is talking about the heat. But me, the heat in the womb, I don't know what kind of a symptom of that. Sometimes what is happening, you know, if you have menopause, you see, because you have deficit of the hormone, this is hit to you flash. If you feel this thing in the world, sometimes it's psychological problem. Sometimes psychological problem the woman is put in the mind because when you go to review the situation of the genital, you don't see anything he can got a heat in the womb. I know maybe you see when you say to me heat, maybe in the urethra and the urethra or burning sensation with the urine pass. I think sometimes
psychological.
It has psychological thing to put.
Okay. Mami asibi, pasho we dey tell, yemre no ko nti woni tell na.
Efania osi oti osho ewo na wodie mu no. Na doctor chere say osho no to the bia na wa dream enye normal sa ene to the bi so na ebia menopause nti was say oshe na ne na all cancer say ne nufo eya na ahihye anase mu ya ne ya no na doctor say enye normal
ne ya na ahihye enye ne ya wonu so wo mu ne nsam so ye
na doctor chere say eno na nka ya esi wabra wo bu wonsa anase wo ba be bu wonsa na mom say eba na sa wabra wo mbu wonsa kwa na wo say okọ ayaresa bia ekọ hwehwe say eden na edesa oha no eba
na tre say emre no aso se wo asembi se bia wo pese obisa doctor utumi fresh sa number si amede ba be ma wi wo be yi won sembi se nyina da ano ede ama wo na etumi aboa 0557 966 381 and face 0248 982 418 0248 982 416 416 utumi Fred Doc wo be yi nsem bisa nyina da ano ede ama we san say muhunti ena Doc wo ho medam asese ene day so no moje bre na mo hwe me na ansa na no Doc. What's your final words to the public, the people? Your final words.
Oh, my final word is I'm happy with the program. How the people he has the research to want to know how things is going. I think the program start to commit their our objects. Is the people be interested in the theme and get knowledge about that. So we next week. We continue with this topic, infertility. We will go to talking about infertility in the woman. is big too. And just said another next we're talking about the treatments, and we finish with the
and how the male infertility is diagnosed because of time.
Oh, okay. Okay, what we can do, we can start with these two, then we continue with the rest. No problem. The time is.
Mami Asibi.
Yeah, that it's here for you now. I say, ewo omo emre. Ene omadaji omoditsna fidie nechi ehwe program no na omodi omho ahyem ye bebo mpa se abre nyina no ombekọ swara edi omho ahye program no mu obi freye from Tema manti nidin no but na oka doctor ehho asem kanfo eya omofra omayanti omodin na omonko swara ehwe program no edomasi
na je say na brebe me kwan ama edi bibie na nsa na mekọ no me we futu sem kakra de ma oba ene be ma wo mo epe awo se eye na se awo enyam ba wade ni mu amesre wo ba emfa sombo ne mebe ma no be ma wo so me emfa sombo no embo wo ba no na emom ne mo be ye be ma odo aka montem na aware no etumi agina enese mo beka mo ho abom na mo atena se apensempensense mo esi gina yese mo inada no mo beko ayare sabia na mo akwahwehwe se asodenti na madadada awo entumi ba sede be ya ewrade ni suade hunu ene ni tire mu pa wo de hyehye aware wasase so no ebetumi abem medawase ye pa sabedofo woje bre na wo de ehwe me Ishmael Mubarak nyame won hwa ye pa ene me ho ya ye fe inada no eye wuwuntia nyame won hwa papa ewo de waye ede amame medin ane na na akua pia nyamekye na so wo fam na iya meje so na media ma ofefefe ejanowa general manager deputy general manager nyankopon won hwa ewo akonya kese se ya wo de amame aso anyame hwa pa ne enchetra eye adani de na da no wo de me fm director Mr. Sami nyami won hwa wo na wo dandan bibia e ma dwumedie etumi ebe mutio cameraman no mi producer Mr. Dave nyami won hwa 4G won so na wo hwe eye abefuntintan fidie sem ne so ede ema yen nyankopon won hwa ye pa sa wo pedumedie bi ahwa wutumi ko eye Lucky TV YouTube page na Facebook page na wetumi akwakọhwe e wo ho titiru ene YouTube page no na wo so wetumi ahwe bi medamose se mwahwe me yakramo ye wonda sene